Hi there. So this is a total impromptu video that I want to have with you. These are some things that have happened this morning. And my friend Tom, he sends me these reels on Instagram all the time. And when I get a minute, I take a look at them all. And today he had sent me this little tiny clip of this man who says that he could change your perspective like in a second. And he says, you're 24 no's away from having a $5 billion company, some kind of $1 billion company, whatever he said. And immediately my brain goes, God, $5 billion. I wouldn't even want a $5 billion company. Imagine the responsibility that you would have a $5 billion company. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh my God, talk about a money block. I wouldn't want a $5 billion company because imagine the responsibility that would. All right. So what is that telling me? What is that telling me? That I consider a lot of money to come with responsibility. That's interesting. Not, oh my gosh, imagine if I had $5 billion, what I could do with that kind of money in the world. Not the perspective of, wow, I could make such a difference and have so many people getting paid beautiful salaries, giving money to charities all over the world that I believe in, and making huge differences in the world. I'm thinking, gosh, no, that is so much responsibility. As if the responsibility all has to be on my shoulders to have a $5 billion company. Obviously, that is not a truth. That was like such a, whoa, Nellie Olson, right? So I thought immediately, gosh, that's excellent insight, Asa. Good. Wow. I love that stuff. So then I'm sitting here and I'm journaling and I'm thinking about my exercise of things because tonight is an eclipse here in Sweden at 7:34 p.m. and it's the Scorpio eclipse. So there's like a thing that you can think about, like what you want to get rid of, like in your life, like what do you not want to hold on to anymore? And I'm like, ooh. Yeah, so I'm writing about things that I want to remember, about like really good things in my life. And then I want to have things that I want to release. Yeah, things that I want to release out of my life that do not fill me, that do not feel like, doesn't fill my heart, or it's a lie, blatant lies that I tell myself, which just are not true. So I decided I'm going to pull 3 cards. I'm like, okay, God, today's Friday. I'm going to pull my 3 cards, my tarot cards for the day. And before I did that, I was thinking, I'm like, it's going to be a really great day. I've got my podcast that's launching. I've got I have an interview with somebody today that I'm going to do a chat with her, and she's in America and she's 24 years old and she may be a guest, and she seems really wonderful because I really want to get the perspective of younger generations and what they're thinking, what they're going through in their lives right now. So, basically so I can check in with reality, because I'm thinking maybe my reality is not the only reality there is. Ding, ding, ding. And then I thought, like, yep. And then I have an interview this afternoon for my podcast for next week. I can't wait to meet with her. She's fantastic. It's going to be beautiful. And I'm like, gosh, I hope that one person will listen to my podcast today and it's going to make a difference. And then all of a sudden, in my mind, I'm like, one person? Is that all I'm asking for in my heart of hearts? Gosh, if one person would listen to my podcast episode today and it would make a difference for them, that would be really great. It hit me again. If I had a $5 billion company, could you imagine the kind of responsibility I would have? It's the same thing. It's the same messaging. If I have 1 million listeners on my podcast, imagine the responsibility I would have. Gosh, I would feel such a responsibility to have 1 million people listening to my podcast. I was like, what the hell am I talking about? If I have one person, if I have 1 billion people listening to my podcast today, imagine that I can make a difference because I am sharing my truth about codependency and people pleasing in my podcast episode today. And if that can go out to 1 billion people instead, that could potentially hear that message and be like, yeah, I do that too. I'm so glad I'm not alone. I need to really cut that out. Let me see how Asa is doing this, how Asa is navigating this, because how do we change our lives? By learning from other people. So now, fast forward to, I just pulled 3 cards for my day. Usually I pick 1 card. I picked 3 cards today. What's the first card I get? Death. I got the death card as my first card in my pull. Yeah, you think? You think something's got to give here? Something's got to die? Old thoughts, old thoughts. Like, if I have 1 person listening to my podcast, that'll make me happy, because if I keep myself small, then I don't actually have to show up in the world. Like, I don't actually have to show my grandeur to the world. Instead, I'm keeping it so damn safe. Oh, hell no. White bread, white milk, floating. No, no, no. No, no. Nope, done with that. Next card I got was 3 of Pentacles. What does that mean? 3 of Pentacles is working together, collaboration with others. Gosh, what do I need to know today, God? Yes, I'm collaborating with others. How can I collaborate with others? How am I working with others? I'm having beautiful interviews. I'm talking to gorgeous people who are living their lives, coming out and sharing their stories about how they navigated their divorce, how they're navigating the world as a 24-year-old, right? I don't know what a 24-year-old thinks. How in the world would I know? I am almost 56 years old, but I want to know, because you know what? It is my responsibility. It is my legacy to leave the world a better place. So what is my responsibility? To understand what needs are of these young people. And if my message can go to young people, go. Listen in. I love you. I love you. And the world loves you. The world loves me. The world loves us. So if I'm a part of that, yes. And then I got the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups represents emotions, water, and the Knight is like a teenage energy. So how can I show up with more love in my heart, open my eyes, share my love in a way that I haven't done before? I'm doing it right now, right here. You are witnessing my new beginning. I hope you'll stay with me.